We're charging towards the winter holidays, and that means tons and tons of sneaker drops absolutely everywhere. And that means Yeezys all over the place. There are Yeezys dropping left, right, and center. And here we are with another Yeezy 700 coming down the line. There have been I can't even count the number of Yeezys that have dropped over the last 3 months. 700s, 500s, 350s, also those 380s in there as well. Basketball guys are meant to be coming. In fact, bing, why don't I just put a link to the top 5 Yeezys for the winter season 2019 and have a look at that video to find out what is coming down the line. But here we are with another variant of the Yeezys, and this time it's an Adidas Yeezy V1. No, it's not that butter. It's not the Yeezy. I always promise that I won't cut out my flubs and stuff like that, and people don't believe me, but here I am. Look, I've made a little mistake. It'd be very easy for me to just go back and start this video over. Not gonna leave these little mistakes in there and just go ahead and tell you that the Adidas Yeezy 700 V1 Carbon Blue is coming down the line. This is the Tokyo About 23 Sneaker Channel. Tokyo About 23 Sneaker Channel des. Mainichi Apsuru no de. Mainichi mite kudasai. And every single day I bring you content from Tokyo, Japan about upcoming sneaker releases, sneaker news, and sneaker reviews. And today that's no different as I bring you this Adidas Yeezy 700 V1 Carbon Blue. I also toss in a tiny bit about the butter movement at the start of my videos and a big bit about the butter movement at the end of my videos. And that's to do with a game that we're playing where I drop hints about a sneaker throughout the week, and then Shoe Butter brings us the actual sneaker on the Sunday, and they're usually the rarest sneakers in the world. If you don't know what I'm talking about, bang, there's a link to explain the game, but there's also a link down below about the game. Today's hint number 5, the last hint of the week is kicks. So if you've been able to put together those 5 hints and work out what sneaker it is that's coming tomorrow, definitely hit me up with a comment down below and let me know. For now though, let's get back into these Adidas Yeezy 700s. Now I flubbed it at the start of this video when I was saying about the V1s when I was trying to introduce the name of this sneaker, because it's important to me that at the start of particularly 700 V1 and V2s, but also Foamposite 1s and Foamposite Pros, for example, is pointing out the difference. The same with the Air Jordan 1 mids and highs. There's little ways to know the difference between a sneaker, and to people out there who are maybe not so familiar with the sneaker, it helps to say, oh, okay, I get what you're saying there. And what we're going to do is we're going to focus in on the mid-foot panel on the side of these Adidas Yeezy 700 V1 Carbon Blues. And you can see it's a sort of solid mesh panel on there. But then if I cut away to another sneaker, you see that there's horizontal 3-stripe branding on there in the fabric. That's the place to look to know if it's a V1 or a V2. If it's a V1, it has that mesh panel on there. If it's a V2, it has that 3 sort of horizontal suede branding on there. So it's a quick way to know the difference between the Adidas Yeezy 700 V1s and V2s. Today, it's just a mesh panel, and that means it's a V1. We're going to have a look at this sneaker and get into the details of it real soon, but first I have to talk about subscribers because this is a YouTube channel and I need them. So please do subscribe to the channel. It helps massively if you do that. A lot of people already have, and I'm grateful for those of you who have already, and I appreciate it if you haven't, if you could go ahead and click subscribe down below. Also, the like button, if I don't ask, people tend not to remember to click like, so please do like the video. And as I am here in Tokyo, Japan, I do say at the start of every single one of my videos in Japanese, this is a Tokyo. Toroku yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Toroku mo shite kureta kata ni kansei shimasu. Arigatou gozaimasu. Ima kara toroku suru to tasukaru no de, zehi mada toroku shite nai hito ga imashitara toroku yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Ine mo click suru to tasukaru no de, ine yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Okay, let's have a look at this guy, this sneaker. And I'll be honest with you, as I am in every one of my videos, I'm not prone now or known for faking it. I was scrolling through, websites and social media and Twitter or whatnot, trying to find out what sneakers to bring you guys this week. And I scrolled, so if you imagine, the sneakers are coming up from below, right, as I'm scrolling down. This one came up, and I saw the picture for it, and I thought, oh, these are fire. And it was until we got to, and I hope I've been able to sort of do it the way I want to do it behind me here. Just looking at the upper, I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. But then when the midsole came into view, I was like, not so much. And I really didn't, I thought about it. I wasn't just sort of like, yeah, but no. I actually thought about it. And what I worked out was that the tongue and the laces are a particular color of light blue. And it doesn't quite match the midsole. The midsole's just slightly the wrong color. And I think it's the midsole that would need to change. I think the midsole needs to be slightly darker, not the laces or the tongue being slightly lighter, if you know what I mean. So I think the midsole, even though it's a fire looking sneaker, even though I super appreciate the blue colorways and the tones on there, it just doesn't quite, it's like what, you know, if you want to do this and you actually do that, it's like a high five that you kind of miss. You know, a Tiger Woods high five. He used to be terrible at high fiving. He'd be like trying to do fist pumps and high fives. That's what it is. It's a fist pump and a high five at the same time, which is always like a. And it just didn't quite jive for me, that midsole. On there, so but going to, you know, staying with the whole sneaker and looking at the sneaker as a whole thing, the colorway is a fire looking colorway. I like it a lot. I like the blue tones in there. It's interesting to see them using blue because there is a sort of across the board shift away from the tans and the beiges and the light browns and the earth tones that have been the signature of the Yeezy line for a very, very long time. And it's interesting to see them kind of moving into blues. I wonder if there's a shift away from earth to water, and now we're going to get a lot more water themes in the Yeezys that are dropping, or if it's just there have been a few blues. If you think of the teals, for example, I did 2 reviews for the teals because the first review I did was based on the sample pair, and I didn't realize they were a sample pair. And then when the actual pair dropped, I did an actual review, and I'll put a link to the actual review, ping, up there. You can find the sample review if you want to on my channel. But anyway, there's a lot of, I mean, it's teal. Of course it's blue. So there's a lot of blues in there. And then there's the hospital blues as well, which of course a lot of blues in there too. And I think those hospital blues favoured different materials in the upper. I think there's a lot more leather in there and a lot less suede and mesh in the hospital blues. And it was the same with the sneaker I did last week. The Yeezy 500 Stone had a slightly different construction, and the materials that they used, a lot less mesh, a lot more leather, but these are your standard 700 kind of mix up of meshes, leathers and suede. So it's a sort of standard construct for a 700. Zooming in to look at some of the places on there that I appreciate about the sneaker, and like I said, I do like the lacing system and the tongue on there. I did, although I don't particularly think it's the right shade of midsole on these guys, I do like the orange in there because it gives you something to sort of look at that's not blue, and I think that's important, that contrast, so it's not just a fully blue sneaker. And of course that gives us a sort of echo of the Wave Runners that had that orange in there as well. So that's always a good thing, and it does provide a sort of point, you know, a focus point for us to look at in terms of color on the sneaker and on that silhouette. And then upside down, if we have a look at the bottom of these guys, that gum sole on there, I'm always very analytical about gum soles and about whether or not I think they should be on a sneaker. In the case of the Stone 500s last week, and in the case of these, I actually think it does work, even though the upper doesn't have any earth tones in it at all. It's a blue sneaker, but I think that this particular tone of outsole in gumsole colorway does work with this particular color of an upper. So I'm a yes to the gumsole, which sometimes I'm not always into when it comes to gumsoles. Sometimes I'm very anti gumsoles, if you know what I mean. So all in all, it's a pretty cool looking sneaker. I like the colorway. I like what they're trying to do with it. I just wish they'd gotten the midsole right. I read somewhere that the midsole is the Inertia midsole. I don't know if it's the exact same as the Inertia midsole, and they just had a bunch left over that they wanted to use up. And that's why it isn't perfectly the right blue for the laces and the tongue, or if it's, you know, just this is what they wanted it to be. They are actually going for this design. That was what they were looking for in the first place, and it is deliberately that particular shade of blue. But all in all, it's a fine looking sneaker. I'm sure a lot of people out there will be going for these and copying them. There isn't that much variation or deviation in the Yeezy lines these days, specifically the 700s and the 500s. They don't vary very much from what's the middle of the road sort of thing. So whereas on the 350 line, we've seen that they're definitely going places with the colorway there and taking it in an interesting and unique way. So it'll be interesting to see if the 500s and the 700s follow the 350 line in being a bit more innovative with their colors. Okay, it's time for me to thank you guys for checking out my content. Butter Movement people, thank you very much. I've been talking this week about how something's going on at the channel. Somebody out there is looking over my shoulder and protecting and boosting and sharing and whatnot, because right now the channel's hot. So thank you guys very much for that. Don't know what it is that's going on, but whatever it is, keep doing it. If it's sharing on social media or talking about the channel on Instagram or whatever, something out there is helping this channel to push along, and I don't know what it is, but I surely do appreciate it. So thank you, Butter Movement guys, for helping the channel keep moving, checking out the content every single day, dropping those comments down below, which are absolutely priceless. So thanks for all of that, and because I do this every single day, I get to say at the end of my videos that you are guaranteed to see me tomorrow.